What's up, guys, and welcome to another Overwatch replay, the show that gives you all the tips and tricks you need to know to become a better Overwatch player. Today we have a competitive match where I play tank, actually, and today it's on Ilios as well, so let's go ahead and get started. I do, in fact, play Zarya, as you may know from the title of the episode. You'll see I pick Ana first because I'm still on my quest to become a better Ana player. I think she's really a valuable healer, and I want to play as her more. Although with the new changes to Diva and Mercy coming, I might have to check those characters out before the next season. Anyways, I think I was in talks on the comms, and we ended up needing another tank because we already had the Mercy and we didn't have a second tank. I think it would be more useful. I also asked Kleiber if he was alright with solo healing, which is a key thing. You need to be alright with that, or your whole team needs to be alright with the fact that you only have one healer. So I actually end up going Winston first, and we'll see how that turns out. So anyways, we move ahead, and I should open up Epic Pen to help us out here. And hopefully that doesn't fuck everything up. Okay, we're fine. Anyways, so first sight is Winston. First sight of the enemy team. A Reaper sporting his new sick costume where he's a sports demon. Or whatever the hell he is. Anyways, or whatever, man. Reaper is Winston's #1 enemy, man. This is the worst thing you want to see as the first sight of the enemy team is Winston. So I was pretty dismayed about that. I was excited to play Winston. He's fun to jump around as. And so my immediate option here is to put down the bubble because all Reaper has to do is just walk forward and keep shooting. And I'm such a large target for him. So I decide to jump over here. My short stint as Winston, and this map is not very good, as you'll find out. So I make the decision to jump over here, probably because I wanted to disrupt this Orisa, something Winston can do pretty well, I think, until she turns around and starts getting headshots. So Orisa has probably has a pretty easy time hitting Winston if he's close to her, which he needs to be to shoot her. But Winston also has the ability to jump around, put down a bubble, perhaps attack this Mercy. So my other priority should have been to attack this Mercy, just track her down, because then, well, although I believe this Orisa has set up in a pretty decent place to hold for the enemy team on this side. So I have two targets here, and I decide to go with the Orisa, I believe, which is kind of pointless considering Winston does very little damage to armor, which Orisa has a lot of. As you can see, how long was I shooting? Let's count. Alright, maybe a little further. Sorry. Alright, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 whole seconds I was shooting at her. And how much health did we take out? Right here. This is abysmal, man. Look how much health I did to her. Just that little bit in 4 whole seconds. That's absolutely worthless as Winston. Not to mention she's going to be healed up immediately right away. That's a problem. So I decide to turn around and get the fuck out. But I think Diva's following me. I jump out, which is nice. And I get this health pack, but I believe it's to no avail because I have 100 hit points. And of course, I turn around, and who do I see? Reaper. So that was sort of a discouraging first life for me. Not to mention I see we've lost 4 people, including me. So both our tanks are down. We have an attack Symmetra, which actually becomes useful. She's actually very useful once she has enough space to set up the things she needs to set up, although she's a little difficult to get into that position on an Ilios. So I decide to make a vital switch to Zarya. Now Zarya is, if you're playing Winston and you still want to play tank, of course Zarya does not have the mobility that Winston does, but if you're running into a Reaper, I suggest picking up Zarya because, and you want to play Winston, you're a Winston main, let's say, or you love to play Winston, I think Zarya is a decent counter. Well, not exactly counter, but I think she's a decent pick should you run into a Reaper because of her shields. Her shields are very vital, and they can negate pretty much, I think, up to 2 of his shots, 2 dead-on shots to her shield. So that should be enough to get him down but half health. He's no longer healing because he's shooting your shields. And then you'll see right here, Reaper is just getting obliterated, and he sort of runs away. So let's talk about what I was doing here. Let's see. Let's move back here. Okay, so let's talk about the initial approach with Zarya. I see that there are Symmetras on my right, so I move over to go protect her. I have Diva coming in behind me. Luckily, our whole team pushed in together. So I put the shield on Symmetra, a decent choice, and I see this Diva coming into our front lines, basically diving into a tank and doing what Diva does, turns around, puts up her defense matrix this way, not helping anyone. So what am I going to do? I'm going to start wailing on her. So I start to shoot her a lot, and our Diva's doing the same, and I see that she's getting out of her mech. So in terms of predicting where this Diva wants to go now that she no longer has a mech, she's obviously going to push this way. She's going to push this way not only because she ejects that way, because she is Diva and she goes backwards when she ejects usually, although she can go slightly left and slightly right, but also because that's sort of safety. So I decide to meet her on the other side, where also a nice, what's his name? Zenyatta is also there, ripe for the picking. So he backs off wisely because usually Zenyatas don't like to take any damage. If they start taking damage, they're usually, if they know if they're in a situation like that, it's wiser to just back off because you can still do your healing from behind barriers and things and walls. So smart choice by the Zenyatta. I decide to not engage because he could probably delete me if he was charging up. He was probably backing up and charging up. So I decide to attack the Diva, finish her off, which was nice. So I decide to reposition myself, but it seems that Reaper has gotten into our back line and ends up taking out our Diva, which is unfortunate. So I'm out of Diva. They're out of Diva. They have Mercy, Reaper, and Orisa, and I'm the sole person on the point right here. I guess Genji... No, sorry. Mercy was on me as well. But she sort of backs away, I think. And then I think... What's happening here? Basically, I protect the Genji. I know I'm backing off the point, so I want to give as much shielding to whoever I can while I can, and then back off the point. My goal is to get off the point, regroup with my team, so I can shield them and build up my charge so I can do some more damage. Of course, Zarya at 40 charge is decent. She does decent damage there, but it's not enough to be really that threatening. So you really want to be above 50 the majority of the time. As you see, I do end up being in that situation quite a lot. And that's when you're going to start doing some real damage. So I'm at 41 here. You see, I'm doing... This Reaper is just not hitting me. And then Genji finishes him off, which is nice. But gets rezzed, and they really need to get the situation under control. What they have here is an interesting setup. They have their attackers here. Of course, these attackers like to be up in your face, except for Pharah, who could be over here. If Pharah was over here, she'd be fine, just floating around, or up here. Reaper wants to be up here, but with no protection, he's just going to get destroyed, and that's pretty much what happens. He had to get res there. And then he uses his ult, which was very fortunate for us, that we already had a defense matrix up on him, and I also had my shield to shield me. So I end up getting some ult charge off of that, and we just finish him, and we completely eliminate him from the game. It's pretty nice on our part. I decide to put as much damage on that barrier as possible while I can, and then I see this Pharah. No one's really taking care of the Pharah. Luckily, no one's really threatened by her at the same time. I decided to get rid of Diva's mech there. Of course, always a useful thing to get rid of because defense matrix is gone. Although we'll see how this changes in the upcoming update where Diva's defense matrix is actually going to be nerfed. I decided to chase the Zenyatta, who gets destroyed by Symmetra, and I don't have to really worry about him anymore. Animaniacs, that's a cool name. And then now we basically take the point. Pharah's going to go down. Yep. Junkrat got Pharah, so that should tell you about the quality of that, the caliber of player playing that Pharah. You're getting killed by Junkrat, you're not doing your job correctly as Pharah, so just keep that in mind. As Pharah, just use your jets, you'll be fine. Or maybe you won't, then you should switch. So we have a bunch of ults here. It's really nice. I know mine is building up pretty nicely. And I see the pharmacy combo coming in here, and decide to note that the Pharah went down to Junkrat, so I'm pretty much free to attack her as Zarya. I mean, if Junkrat can kill her, I can kill her. So that's exactly what happens. She ends up probably telling Mercy, you should give me the damage boost, and then she just gets obliterated there. We had our Diva using defense matrix. I was just attacking her. Genji was doing damage to her. It was no problem for us. She's just a sitting duck in that situation. Of course, she does a lot of damage, but it's no problem. So here I'm using my left click in order to do damage through Diva's defense matrix. The one thing, not the one nice thing, but a nice thing about Zarya's gun is it goes through Diva's defense matrix. So, Diva uses her bomb. Unfortunately, at the same time, I decided to use my ult. Diva's very good at stopping Zarya's ult. Not only can she just literally defense matrix and eliminate it, but she can also just use her bomb and sort of keep everyone away from Zarya's ult, which is really nice as well. But that's sort of where the pull and tug comes in with the Diva-Zarya battle, because Zarya can attack through her defense matrix with her left click. So it's pretty nice. So we finish off the Diva there, and we actually end up getting 3 kills, which is pretty solid. We end up stopping this push because, I mean, pretty much just this Orisa here. So I'm going to, attack her as much as I can. As you can see, I actually did damage there because I was absorbing that. Zarya does so much more damage than Winston. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, I see this Diva over here, so I'm going to go and engage. I know I have my shields to fall back on, and it's pretty nice. Diva comes around this way. Big mistake, you're dead. Symmetra can just finish her off, along with a little bit of help from me. I wasn't hitting her that much, but this Symmetra actually did do some really nice damage, and I thank her for that. I see Reaper coming in here. I put up my shields, get fully charged up, and then I back up a little bit because I know I have all these turrets to attack the enemies should we need it. So I think that's pretty much it for this round. Oh yeah, I think I get my ult again? No, not here. But we pretty much... Oh wait, I might. Yeah, I do. Right, so I know we're at 98% here. I see the majority of their team in front of me. In order to just stop them, I throw down my ult. Because I saw the Diva turning around. I don't know what the hell she's doing. She needs to stop me. So I literally got the whole team there. We held them there. And I think we would have ended up getting almost a team kill there. Because Pharah decided to use her ult as well. So that was nice. It was a very encouraging round, aside from picking Winston. So let's move on to the next round. I think our team pretty much stays the same. So let's move ahead to our initial attack. So we're going in. We've got Symmetra throwing up her shield. I think she goes left. Yeah, so Symmetra's going left. I bet she is setting up turrets on that side. That's her goal. To protect us with the shield so we can move in, then get her turrets up. They make a nice switch to Reinhardt, although it doesn't really help because he's not the best Reinhardt. So, pretty much he's just defending himself, swinging his hammer, and then dying. I see that Mercy's there. I want to make sure she's alive, although I think she was clearly leaving the battle, and I see where the battle is. I should have actually put the shield on Diva, she would have lived a little longer, and I would have been in a better situation because I would have more ult charge, and as well as damage charge. So that would have been really nice if I had put that shield on Diva. That should have been my #1 priority. As Zarya, you should be prioritizing people who are about to die or people who are in trouble in terms of where you're putting the shield. So we see that this Diva doesn't matter. She's sort of getting destroyed, and our Diva's hanging back. You can see some mini shots coming in. I believe she gets her shield back, or sorry, her mech back soon, and that should be fine with us. So they again come out with the Reaper Pharah Mercy combo as they're attacking Stride. We lose. Oh no, Mercy almost went down there. I just saw, but she doesn't. Lucky us. She probably flew away to someone else. And then we see that we have Mercy. Let's look at this situation. We've got our pharmacy up here, which is nice. We've got a Reinhardt coming in this way for no reason, and Mercy's just following him, trying to keep Coleslaw alive here. So it's really scary for their team. Their Reinhardt's going rogue. Their Mercy's trying to save everyone, and I'm here to just clean up. So Reinhardt gets there, actually puts up his shield for once, and defends some people. And I'm here to just sort of put the pressure on him because he's not really doing anything. I see this Zenyatta over here. I decided to actually chase him this time. A word of advice, it's not the best. If you see Zenyatta who has seen you, go around the corner. He's probably charging up around here, or in this particular corner's case. He probably went around here and then he could have charged up in this situation. But he actually just backs off. Wise move, I suppose. He doesn't want to get his charge shot eaten up by Zarya's shield. That would be bad. As you can see, we have a bunch of turrets, which is nice, and now we can sort of advance up here. So this is actually a pretty nice spot to hold. The point is this chokehold right here. So between this is not a good viewpoint of it, but yeah, so you really want to hold this area. It's pretty useful to hold this area. You can push up a little bit even to this chokehold. It's not bad, although you run the risk of getting flanked from here. That is over here. And also the flank from inside here. But the point of holding this chokehold is really nice because you can just sort of fall onto the point. So what you would want is your support sort of below here. A Mercy would be fine, or a Ana or a Zenyatta was pretty cool. And then you have your two tanks here, Zarya and Diva, and then you have your DPS behind, the Pharah maybe above. That would be pretty cool if we had that going. This Reinhardt sort of just swings his hammer. All I have to do, keep in mind, Reinhardt only has a certain range on his hammer, so all you have to do is just stay out of it. He's not going to hit you past that. So all you have to do, keep backing up, is Zarya, and you'll get that kill. All Reinhardt can do is throw one fire strike at you, so just make sure you have enough health to live that, and you'll be fine. There's Reinhardt again, and I'm pretty free to pressure him here. He has no real support. This Diva uses her ult and gets Symmetra actually, which is kind of annoying, but whatever, man. It sort of gets a little crazy here, and but it's more or less just them trickling in and us not really knowing how to deal with it because we weren't expecting it, but it doesn't really matter because we sort of just take the point from here on out, I believe. Yes. Okay. I had my ult, but I could have just thrown it in there to stop them again. I was in the same exact situation as last game, last round, because I had my ult at the end. I could have just hold them at the choke point instead of letting them come onto the point. You want to keep these things in mind with Zarya. You can stop all movement if you get your ults off. So, moving on to the final round. Yes, we did win this match, but of course, pretty interesting here. We see, usually you'll find the team fight starts around here, in this sort of area, right in front of me. Although these guys decided to walk around this building and just decide to not even look this way and just go on to the point. So, I don't know, their team was questionable. And so I decide, okay, I'll do some damage, build up a little damage charge, and then move on to the point. So that's what I do. I move over here, I get a little bit of charge, 32, and then I push onto the point where you really want to obviously hold. So we start doing damage here. This Diva dashes onto the point and puts herself in a corner. So I don't really know what her goal was, maybe just to get on the point, but that doesn't really help anyone. Because all we have to do is just start doing damage to her, and she sort of gets screwed over here. But then Reinhardt actually starts protecting her, which is nice. But somehow our Symmetra had enough time to get 1, 2, 3 turrets. Pretty awesome, and they're all in pretty crazy spots up here and of course up there. And that's really tearing apart this Reinhardt. He's getting nervous, he's putting up his shield, he's taking a lot of damage, and he goes down. Mercy actually ends up saving this Diva for a little bit, but I saw that the reason why I threw, instead of holding down left click here, I wasn't too confident with my shot accuracy at this point, and I saw that all I had to do, I had a 30 charge, so my right clicks are going to be doing a little more AoE damage than they usually do, and so all I have to do is just aim right here or right here, maybe even right here. I probably could have gotten that kill and clean up this Diva. So just to assure the kill, I threw on the right click, and then I believe our Pharah killed their Pharah. I think that's why this Pharah wasn't really becoming too much of a problem, because we didn't really have that many people to take care of her. Our Pharah was killing the Pharah. Luckily we didn't need the Pharah to help us out with the rest of the team, because that must have taken forever. I mean, you're shooting into void with Pharah at that point. You want surfaces to shoot onto, to explode your rockets when you're playing Pharah, as far as I know anyways. I sort of see that Pharah going onto the point or flying up, so I decide that's not going to happen. Not today. So I don't engage that, and I sort of scare this Reaper off. Reaper, anytime he's taking damage and he doesn't immediately have someone in front of him, he's probably going to back off. So, because he knows that he only has a certain range, if there's someone in front of him, he can heal himself with all the damage he does. But, of course, he's a very short-range character. So that's why, you know, it's pretty nice to do damage to him at any point, because then you'll see how much of a coward all Reaper players really are. I'm kidding. No, Reaper is a super sick character. So, I wish I could play him more. We see that this Reinhardt has managed to flank around by himself, just defeating the purpose of Reinhardt. A flanking Reinhardt by himself, that's gonna work out. It can work out. Not in this guy's case. Where is he going? He's going back here. We've got one, and I think our Mercy's in here for some reason. And then they've got me dealing some damage, so I decided that we needed to take this guy out. He does get a charge situation, but we were fine in that situation, and the Diva did not die. So we're lucky. Reinhardt by yourself, not that useful. Reinhardt with team behind you, super useful. I mean, just weigh the situation, right? This Reaper decides to try to flank us, but to no avail. And I believe our Pharah takes him out, which is nice. And we still have all these turrets up here. So really, they never took out these turrets. And so it was always a really scary proposition for one of their persons to get onto the team. As you'll see right now, I mean, if one person gets on there by themselves, they're just automatically taking damage. And then we all turn around and kill them. So if you're going into this situation, you want to throw a Winston in there probably to get rid of the turrets first. And then as soon as that Winston's in there, you want to get everyone else in there. So you have to push the team. It's really important, team sport. But you'll see that Zarya has the great fortune of having a shield. So shields block Reinhardt's ult, which is really nice. as I turn around now and start to engage the Reinhardt, if I'm not mistaken. If I didn't go too far back. Yeah, Reinhardt's just swinging his hammer, coming through. What the fuck is this guy doing? He's just pissed off, man. And here, I'm lucky lucky enough to have put up my barrier here, because I thought he was going to just try to engage me. And he did. He threw down his ult, and it was a waste, and then we just took out this guy, and I had to teabag him because he's a moron. Anyways, again, certain situation. I have my ult in the end of the game. I see that there are 3 people in front of me, and that we're about to win, so I wanted to stop this push immediately. So I threw my ult there. Zenyatta saves them, actually. They could have ran onto the point to stop this, but they didn't. So that's the game. So guys, I know season whatever this is, 5 is coming to an end. So we're going, don't worry, there will still be Overwatch replays going up every Wednesday. I have to pre-record some of them, but it's going to happen. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I wanted to say that we do have a podcast on this channel every Monday. You can get it on iTunes and SoundCloud, where Yvonne and I talk, or someone and I talk a lot about topical things. So anywhere from politics to video games we talk about. We also have this video, sort of more relaxed talk through of a Overwatch game, because Yvonne and I love Overwatch. And then there is, and Yvonne is the co-host of everything on this channel. And then we also release a video every Friday, which is a heavily edited Let's Play. So go ahead and check that out. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy our videos. Leave a thumbs up if you like this one. Subscribe to us, and then we'll go over the play of the game. Or we'll talk about the play of the game. We have Grey Ocean playing Junkrat with the play of the game. Throwing in his ult. Going to find the team. Sharking them out. Ends up getting a double kill, taking out one of the healers, and yet again taking out the other healer who managed to appear in front of him out of nowhere. So thanks again for watching. Catch you guys next week. Peace out.